In the last lecture, we talked about 4 important phyla of kingdom Animalia. Porifera, that includes sponges, Cnidaria or Ctenophora, that includes jellyfish. Platyhelminthes, which includes flatworms. Aschelminthes are also called nematodes, that includes roundworms. And now we'll continue our discussion for other phyla. Annelids or Annelida, the phylum Annelida, includes segmented worms. Where have you seen segmented worm? Maybe you can recall seeing a earthworm or a leech, or you might not have seen a polychaete, but polychaete is an example of annelids. They are usually present in freshwater. They can be marine and also terrestrial. These animals have bilateral symmetry, which means if you cut their body into half, their left and right part would look the same. They have triploblastic layer in their body. That means they have ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, and they are coelomate, which means they have a true body cavity. Their body is segmented, and each segment is separated by this line called septa. They have a true coelom, a true body cavity, which is hydrostatic in nature. That means there is fluid filled in that cavity. That cavity that has fluid filled in it also acts as a hydrostatic skeleton. That means it provides rigidity or shape to these animals. These animals have organ system level of organization because they have a well-developed digestive system, circulatory system, and nervous system. They have closed circulation with blood vessels. That means the blood circulates in the blood vessels and come back to a pumping organ. Throughout their body, they have tubules called nephridia, which collect waste material from the body and excrete it through these pores called nephrostomes. Throughout their body, annelids have longitudinal and circular muscles, and the contraction and relaxation of these muscles help in locomotion. Annelids also have these bristles called setae in the different sections of their body, and they help in adhering or anchoring to the substrate and facilitates movement. Annelids mainly undergo sexual reproduction, and the example of earthworm has a hermaphrodite body because it has both male and female parts. So they combine with each other in an inverted manner so that male and female parts come in contact with each other. Annelids also play a crucial role in soil aeration because they go inside the soil and make tiny little pores because they burrow in the soil. This also helps in recycling the nutrients. The next phylum we are going to talk about is Arthropoda. It is the largest and most diverse phylum in the kingdom Animalia. It consists of all the insects, arachnids means spiders, crustaceans, and myriapods. One of the main characteristics of these animals are they have these jointed limbs or appendages. You can see the joints here, and they have an exoskeleton, means the outermost covering on their body acts as a skeleton. So they have an exoskeleton, a skeleton that is outside of their body. These animals also have bilateral symmetry, which means they have same left and right side of their body. They have segments, as you can see here, and their body is divided into 3 main parts. The front part is the head, followed by thorax and then abdomen. The exoskeleton is made up of chitin, which is periodically shed during molting, and that's how these insects grow, or these arthropods grow. And we have already talked about the jointed appendages. They have joints in their appendages which help them in providing flexibility and maneuvering their movement because of these joints. Arthropods have organ system level of organization just like annelids, and they have well developed digestive system, nervous system, and excretory system. They have open circulatory system. That means the material that is flowing through their vessels can end up in the tissue spaces, and that fluid that's flowing through their circulatory system is called the hemolymph. So you must have seen sometimes when you kill a cockroach or a spider, some whitish material comes out of their body. That is the hemolymph. They have a respiratory system which can be mediated by the presence of trachea or book lungs or gills, depending on where they live. They use different kinds of organs for the purpose of respiration. Insecta is the largest class in arthropoda. They have such a huge diversity. There are so many different kinds of insects. All the insects have head, thorax, and abdomen as the main divisions of their body. They have specialized mouth parts for obtaining food or for sucking blood if they are blood-sucking insects. And they also have pairs of wings. Arachnids or class Arachnida is specifically characterized by the presence of 8 legs, as you can see here. So it includes spiders, scorpions, ticks, and mites. Their body has mainly 2 compartments, cephalothorax, which is a fused head and thorax, and an abdomen. They have 4 pair of legs, which means 8 legs in total, and they have very simple eyes present in them. But the presence of eye is a new feature that you must have not seen in the animals that we have discussed before. Crustaceans are usually aquatic. The main examples of this group are crabs, lobsters, and shrimps. They have a pair of antennae on their head which helps in navigating their environment, and they have calcified, very thick, strong exoskeleton. And because they are usually present underwater, they use gills for respiration, just like the fish does. Myriapods are the animals with a lot of legs. These include centipedes and millipedes. They have elongated body with a lot of segments in them, and the centipedes are carnivorous with venomous fangs, so they produce venom, and millipedes are detrivorous. That means they usually feed on waste material. Insects or arthropods have several ecological roles. They are pollinators. They pick up pollen from one flower and put them on the female part of the other flower. They are also important for decomposition. They decompose dead waste material around us and provide the nutrients back to the ecosystem. And they are also essential for pest control. They are also important source of food in many countries, and they are also used for the aquaculture because you can raise these animals which are in water, and they can be used as a food source. For example, you have seen people eat shrimp, lobsters, crabs as seafood. Some of these insects can also act as a vector for diseases. That means they carry the parasite from one person which is sick to a healthy person, and that's how they transmit the disease from one person to another. For example, mosquito bites and picks up malaria parasite from a sick person and puts it in the body of a healthy person, and that's how malaria disease is transmitted. The next phylum we are going to talk about are mollusks. They include snails, clams, and octopuses. Their bodies are soft, so that is why they are often enclosed in external shells. So these are the shells made up of calcium, and the animal lives inside these shells, and these shells are their exoskeleton. These animals are marine, or they can be in freshwater or terrestrial, for example snails or slugs. Mollusks have soft body which is sitting inside a calcium carbonate made shell. So this is the outer shell, and the animal sits inside these exoskeletal shells. They have bilateral symmetry and they are coelomates. That means they have a true body cavity. They have different segments in their body, including head and foot. The foot helps in adhering with the substrate or the surface they are sitting on. Then the visceral mass is enclosed in the shell because it's needed to be protected, and the outer layer is called mantle that covers the most of viscera. Major classes of mollusca are gastropoda. Gastra means stomach and poda means foot. That means their foot is attached to their stomach or originates from the area of stomach. This includes snail and slugs, and you must have seen that they seems like they are crawling on their stomach. Then second are bivalvia. That means they have a shell that can be split into two parts. So you must have seen mussels that open in a two-part shell. You can also find this kind of shell in oysters, in which sometimes you find pearls, and they are filter feeders. They filter micronutrients from the water around them. Cephalopoda is the third class. Cephalo means head and poda means foot. That means they have their legs or feet originating from their head. As you can see, here is the head of octopus, and seems like their legs are originating from their head. They have very well developed nervous system, and they have tentacles which help them sense their environment. These animals have a complete digestive system, and they also have a mouth for feeding. For respiration, they can use gills or lungs depending on whether they live inside the water or on land. And they have very advanced sense organs in cephalopoda, that means in octopuses, and they can sense their environment very minutely. Mollusks mostly reproduce by sexual reproduction, and the gastropods are hermaphrodite. That means the same body consists of both male and female reproductive organs. They are important source of food. Many people eat mollusks, and they have filter feeding, which is why they clean up the water around them. They remove the debris, improving the health of the ecosystem. The last phylum we are going to discuss is Echinodermata. This includes starfish, sea urchin, and sea cucumbers. They are mostly marine, and they have bilateral symmetry. As you can see, their body can be divided into many different planes. They have water vascular system. Water circulates through their body for the export of nutrients and respiratory gases. Echinoderms have calcareous plates, or the plates made up of calcium inside their body, which acts as endoskeleton. These plates are also called ossicles. Echinoderms have water vascular system. They have these tube feet which suck in water, and the water circulates through these canals and circulate nutrients and respiratory gases. They do not have a head or centralized brain, but they have a very well developed nervous system spread all over their body. Starfish or echinoderms have very simple digestive system. They have a capability to avert their stomach. That means the mouth is present on the underside of these animals, but sometimes when they want to prey on big prey, they sit directly on the prey and then they throw their stomach outside of their body, and the prey is taken directly into the stomach. So they can actually send their stomach outside of their body to digest their food. These animals do not have a specialized circulatory, excretory, or respiratory system. The gaseous exchange takes place through the process of diffusion. They have a nervous system that consists of nerve rings and radial nerves spread all over their body. Echinoderms mostly reproduce by sexual reproduction, and their sexes are present in separate animals, so male and female animals are different. They have the capability of regenerating their lost body parts, and they can grow their lost limbs over a period of time. These animals are the main predators or preys in the marine environment, so they eat up a lot of other animals and then they get eaten up by the bigger animals. Sea urchins feed on alga, and that's why they control the growth of alga on reefs. The echinoderms also contribute to the marine biodiversity and are indicator of good health of ecosystem which is underwater.